Hi, everyone. Welcome to the So True Network with Dawn Johnson and Powers. I am so glad you're here, and I'm extremely excited to have you here for our In True Conversation series. In this space, we sit down with community leaders, educators, and our community voices who are making an extraordinary impact. Together, we'll explore how their journeys connect to the So True pillars: community empowerment, women's empowerment, and financial empowerment. These conversations are about truth in action, our overlapping circles with great people and their stories that remind us we are stronger together. As you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of our So True updates. How are you going to make this land revenue generating? Because I think that's the challenge why so many people inherit land and just sell it because they don't know what to do with it. Number two, number one, and then number two, talking a little bit about your family structure and how that is lending to you being able to do some of the things that you're able to do.
One, I think we've learned a lot by talking to the generations prior to us. And so Brother Wally has been tremendous in kind of giving advice. And, sometimes some of the best lessons are someone telling you what not to do, right? And so I think for him, his deal was, I don't think I put enough value on the importance of the land. So when we host events out here, the children work, but we also pay them a little bit, right? So that they can realize that there's some currency that's available here for us. We want them to be able to have ATVs and they can come out and ride on the land. We want them to see
the value
the
of the
good
land.
of it.
Yeah.
My father, who grew up the son of a sharecropper, you know they started to get a disdain for the land because all they saw was it being work and labor, and I think that that's where as
It
a
was taking.
people,
In Texas.
yeah, and
that's all I remember is my dad
trying to figure out how he was going to pay the
or
taxes.
send taxes back to his
His
brother
brother,
who was maintaining the land. And I
Mhm.
think those who are far away from it, that's all they see.
So it became a liability,
Right.
And so I think for us, our vision was okay.
Or
Is one, farming is a lot of work, right? And so what we wanted to do in creating this space, Landon Land Homestead and Retreat, is just that.
Say that one more time.
Landon Lane Homestead and Retreat.
Homestead and Retreat.
So sure, we want to grow food, and we've got a couple acres set aside specifically for our apple orchard and blueberry orchard, and we're going to grow lavender, and we're going to have a kitchen garden, and Crystal's going to be able to show how to can in nutrition classes and preserving and those sort of things. But we really wanted Landon Lane to be a sacred space, one, to bring people back to the land. It is, I mean, you're hearing the the chickens in the back and the roosters in the background, and it's quiet and it's serene. This is a place where you can come and think and unwind from the rest of the world. Cell phone reception may be a little sketchy, so you may not even be able to get on your cell phone. So it allows you that opportunity to disconnect and recharge. Literally, no cell phone, but you are recharging because you have this opportunity to just be quiet. And in the stillness of it all is your opportunity to kind of think through those next phases. And that's where the retreat side comes in. So we're building glamping sites out here so folks can come down and spend a weekend and camp out in a non-primitive way.
there will be restrooms.
So they'll get to camp out here, and they'll get to come and pick apples or blueberries or pick some things out of the garden. There'll be a retreat center out here where families can use that for family reunions, weddings, yoga retreat, and an event space. And so our goal is to have all of that here to give people kind of a mix. And so our goal is to try to take families on that journey so that if you and a lot of family has, oh well, oh, my family's got 40 acres down south, but I don't want to farm. Well, here's some other ways that you can do it. Micro retreats or big micro hotels. Like there are so many different campgrounds.
Retreat. I mean, just retreats in general.
Yeah.
Like you bring your camping gear, and you can camp out here. Meetup groups or mentorship programs or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So there's so many other things that families can do with land other than we got this farmland down there, and I've been up in New York all this time. I know nothing about farming, and nor do I want to try, but it's a way of trying to show that there's some other ways. Like we just found out about timber sales, that you can sell your timber, and that's an opportunity for you to get some money out of it. So there are other things that you can do, but I do think that I feel really good about where we're at in life, because going back to the social media piece, we're finding more and more, I think by us being our authentic self, we're finding our tribe of people who are coming back to the land. Yeah. And we're meeting families and individuals and now celebrities. I just heard Kyrie Irving talking about, he's getting ready to buy land. And, I think it's this thing of like, it depleted us for so long, and now many of us are starting to come back to it, realizing the health benefit, the mental benefit of it all, to get us there. The second part of your question is, our family dynamic is a little different. For those who are watching,
and it's related to your faith.
It is. So we are devoted and practicing Muslims. I hate when people say devoted, and I just say it because I think with any faith, the goal is not to not be devoted to your faith,
exactly.
but we are practicing Muslims. And so both Crystal and Kiki are both my wives. And I think going back to your truth, right? We're no longer running from that. Like, I think we were just having this conversation the other morning. It's just like, so Crystal and I had been married for over 20 years when we mutually made the decision and stumbled into this young lady here and made her a part of our family. It was, I think we always went into it looking at it from an economic standpoint. And so I think, is it the ideal situation? We, by all means, don't go out and tell everybody, hey, you need to jump into this poly lifestyle and polyamory and polygamy and whatever you want to call it. We don't tell people that. But what we did do and what we advise other people is find those individuals that you have common goal with and figure out a plan for your legacy. And it just so happened for us, ours was it was tied to our spirituality and our faith. And so our families came together. And so there are the three of us. We have 6 children, 4 grandchildren. That will continue to grow. This land is owned by all of the children, all of the family. Well, it is in a trust. We're looking for ways to help our children be able to start their businesses and utilizing this land and our whatever wealth we're able to accumulate to invest in them and investing in their business and their vision and their goal. 1 or 2 of them will probably come back and help us continue to thrive this on, but many of them have their own visions. We've got a son who's a financial planner. We've got another son who's in automotive. We got a son who's interested in becoming an electrician. We've got a daughter who's interested in digital media and sports medicine and becoming an esthetician and dermatology. Like, so we know that they all have their own goals and visions, but we know that this will be here, and so
they know that this will be here.
And when I'm listening to all of those things, there's ways to connect everything
100%
still to the land.
Absolutely.
And I do want to acknowledge this point too, because there are other practicing Muslims who don't go this path.
Oh yeah, exactly. Sure.
And if I understand correctly, Crystal, you were faced with really trying to make sure that your family was going to be okay.
Exactly.
And did that lead to the conversation?
I think it actually started the conversation. It started the conversation. I think that, prior to my own health concerns, it was never a thought. Like, you're like, oh, we're going to be good. I'll be great. And then when you're put in a situation where you have to actually think about how my family's going to survive without me, and I'm the nucleus of the family, it puts an undue pressure on you, because you don't want to leave them where they are, especially where you know that they really can't survive without you.
Well, come on, we would have made it.
No, I don't. It's very questionable. Very questionable.
You just didn't want to have to worry.
I didn't want to have to worry about it. So that's how it kind of sparked the conversation, and being comfortable enough to say, okay, am I willing to put myself in a position where I may be ridiculed or asked questions as to what I'm doing, but then also knowing what it was about and understanding our intention with it. I think that for a lot of people who know me and knew me, they would have never thought that I would have gone this route. And so then it became, I got tired of answering questions. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not even going to address it. I'm not even going to talk about it, because I'm tired of talking about it. Right. And you're just going to have to see for yourself, right. Like, if I'm okay with it, you should be okay with it. The moment I'm not okay with it, you got every right to be not okay with it. And that's the way I felt. And I think as the years have gone by, I think all of those who were very concerned have realized that, okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Because it's really about their own fears. Right. And granted, we all have our own insecurities that come up, but it's the communication of how we're addressing those, and if we're willing to understand and be patient, because this is not the norm. None of us grew up having parents that were in
had more than one
spouse. Like, it just didn't happen. Like, my mom is still kind of like, I still don't understand. Right. It's okay that you don't understand.
Overlap in circles. Let's keep this relationship in the space where we have commonality.
Right. So, and it's okay.
But
I think
the financial piece of it. Yeah. I mean, for us, we're all working professionals. Mm-hmm. We now are working on just being able to run all of our expenses off of two incomes. And then that third income, we're able to make these investments, right? So that's how we were able to make the investment in the land. Were we ready for it? No, not at that time. It is, again, I'm coming out here to see Brother Wally, and there's a for sale sign. Right. And I'm like, I'm going to move the for sale sign so nobody else sees it. And I'm going to make the phone call, and that's kind of how that worked out. But we were not prepared. No. But we there's no such thing as luck. It's where opportunity.
And it's an evolution but at the core of it, you talked even about the land piece. It was survival.
Sure.
And even this was about
survival. Yeah.
It didn't start. I don't know that it started. You can explain.
The vision of Victory Gardens is about survival. Right. Like, it's a common theme for us. Yeah.
And I think, as a mom, worried about what will my kids do if I don't be this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so making sure that your family can survive. And then it sounds like it evolved into, okay, great, you're here, you're strong, you're thriving. Did it then shift to, okay, how can we make this economically work for us?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was it wasn't the primary, but I do think that the economic piece was always
the economic piece was always
there.
Was always there, because that was one of the things that I think all of us was like, this, we can see it happening.
Yeah.
Right. Because we all had the dream of it happening, but we couldn't see it. As to what we were talking about earlier, the idea sounds really great, but how do we get there? What are the steps to get there? What are we doing? And this allowed us to see the steps happening.
Well, and going back to the very theme of this is about truth, right? And so I think as a people, we have to learn to live our own truth, right? Mm-hmm. Having open conversations, being communicative, from the standpoint of communicating needs, thoughts, ideas, kind of what I'm going through. We no longer have to keep carrying burdens inside of us that we feel like I can't even believe I'm thinking like this. Well, no, there's there's probably more
Right.
people thinking like that that just haven't had that conversation. So it's like we started finding more polygamous families even within our faith, because we didn't even have an example to model. And so a lot of this we're kind of figuring out. So now we're getting questions from brothers and sisters both asking us, and how you making that work, and how, and that sort of thing. But I think
because
that
we've become public
about
with
it.
Right.
But I would say
Yeah.
too, I think what people look for the negative.
Yeah.
It's always a negative perspective when it comes to this dynamic. And for us, we are a relationship that doesn't have. We have challenges just like a monogamous
This
couple may
relationship
have.
would, yep.
I mean, we still have to communicate. We still have to do the same things. We're not remiss from that part. But I think, organically though, we play on our strengths within what we're capable of do. Our household runs sufficient. Our kids, and that's, I think, going back to the children. I think for me, it was more of how our children are going to perceive, like when they have friends to come over. But it's so natural for them. It's almost like, well,
This
these
is my
are
mom. This is my stepmom.
yeah. I mean, it's just it comes so fluent for them. Like it's normal for them, and it's unnormal for them. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like well, this is normal for us.
And I think after people hang out for a little while, whether children or whether adults, it just is like, oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
Jonathan and his two
So I
wives.
think
Or that's,
they want to see, like, me and Crystal are literally like sisters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I've watched it. I mean, I've known you before.
Right.
You became a part of the Nazeer family. And even getting to know Crystal, I think that there's a misconception that, oh, there's this dominant man taking advantage of
Yes.
these weak women. And let me tell you, these are no weak women. They
I'll
are
attest to
very-
that.
and this is not a dominant
No,
man. And
no.
I think that that's probably some of the misperception. And of course, the sexual aspect of everything, the men are thinking, oh, yeah, everybody wants to have that
Listen.
opportunity. But I wanted to make sure that people understood where this was born out of. It
Yeah.
wasn't this,
Right.
anyone being manipulated or someone
Not at
being
all.
weak and someone
Not
being
at all.
dominant. But it came from a place of
Perseverance.
and determining what's best for our family
Family.
unit.
That,
Right.
and it's
based on the
also a
situation.
part of our faith,
Faith, right.
right?
Yeah.
And so it is not it may not be a part of yours,
Right.
but
It may
it
not
is
be
a part
of
of
society.
societies. Yeah.
It's society that is the driving
Driving
force
force,
for
yeah.
a lot of things, but our faith overrides what society says.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us for In True Conversations. Every story shared is another piece of our collective truth that we're presenting to our community to build together. I invite you to stay connected with the So True Network by subscribing to our channel, liking our videos, and please share this episode with someone who you think may need it. Remember, your truth matters, and when your truth and my truth intersect, we will find liberty. So I'll see you in the next conversation.